What's an epiphany you had that changed your life? It's okay to just feel your feelings. You don't have to act on them in any particular way, but the full range of human emotion is fine. Related, anger is usually a secondary emotion, reacting to something else you're feeling, fear or anxiety or disappointment or something else. And it's often helpful to look at what might be underlying feelings of anger.
It's true, sometimes you just need to sit with your feelings. I remember a time when I got really angry over a minor issue, but later realized it was more about stress at work. Just recognizing that helped me not act out. It's all about understanding what's really going on beneath the surface. We all go through it, and it's okay to take that time for ourselves.
I'm not responsible for other people's feelings. As a kid, I was taught that others' happiness should always be put before my own, and that I needed to anticipate how they'd feel about anything I said or did. It was exhausting. Once I realized how untrue that was, things became easier. I still care about the impact of my words and actions, of course, and I don't purposely hurt anyone. But I recognize that I can express an opinion or be honest about my feelings, even though someone may not like it. It's a process. I love the saying, you don't have to set yourself on fire to keep someone else warm. I keep it in mind when I'm being codependent.
It's interesting how this idea of prioritizing others can weigh you down. I remember feeling that way, always thinking about how my actions might affect my friends. Eventually, I realized it's okay to put myself first sometimes. It doesn't mean I don't care. It's just about finding balance. That saying really resonates, though. Understanding that you don't need to sacrifice your own well-being for others makes a big difference.
Always listen to the first mind. I was at home one evening, and my mother crossed my mind. I sat and thought about calling her, and then she crossed my mind again. So I called. Turns out where she lived had a power outage during a heat wave. I called her friend and asked if she could pick my mom up because she was having trouble operating the backup generator. Her friend did so and said that was a smart thinking to make that call. I told her this exact story. If I hadn't listened to my first mind, I wouldn't have my mom today.
It's interesting how a simple thought can lead to something important. I had a similar moment when I suddenly remembered an old friend I hadn't talked to in years. Decided to reach out, and it turned out they were going through a tough time. Just like with your mom, that call helped them feel less alone. Sometimes, following that first instinct can really make a difference in someone's life.
So difficult. I've found that if I'm feeling hurt or resentful about something I'm doing, I'm probably on fire. Sometimes it's still necessary. There are always going to be times when shit has to get done. But I've gotten better at asking for help or just talking it out instead of feeling miserable about it. Self-compassion is a really hard thing to internalize. I hope it becomes easier for you as you keep practicing it.
It's common to struggle with feelings like that. I remember dealing with a tough project and just pushing through, feeling burned out. Eventually, I started reaching out to friends when things got overwhelming. Talking really helped. It's true that self-compassion takes time to learn, but it's important. Sometimes, just knowing you're not alone makes a difference. Keep trying. It does get easier with practice.
I tried, was in therapy for over a decade with 4 different therapists, but all came to the same independent conclusion after years of therapy. My upbringing emphasized the joys of romantic relationships so much that it became so deeply ingrained in my brain as the only thing that matters in life that I can't really find joy in anything without it. Even several different antidepressants did absolutely nothing. LOL. And it's not like the therapies were all talk. Lots of suggestions, goals, and tasks, and nothing helped even a little bit. //
It sounds like you've been through a lot. It's tough when you put in the effort but still feel stuck. Therapy can be a long road, and not every approach works for everyone. It's interesting how deeply our upbringing shapes our desires and perceptions. Finding joy seems to be tied closely to those experiences for you. It's a challenge, but sometimes just recognizing the pattern can be the first step.
Please consider subscribing if you enjoyed. Love.